All right, it's a word problem. And, just reading through it, a clerk at a local store sold 4 yards. By the way, a yard is 3 feet of green rayon, 6 yards, right? Let me erase this over here. I don't need that. Again, it goes back in real. I'm not trying to memorize anything. 6 yards of blue rayon and 2 yards of pink rayon for a total of $20. An additional sale was made of the same rayons for a total of $6, comprising of 24 inches. Now here they're talking inches now. So inches, there's 12 inches to a foot. All right, so this is like mixing units here. And 1 yard each of the blue and pink. All right, kind of a lot of detail at this point. What is the price for 27 inches of pink rayon? Then they go on another question. Is the pink rayon more expensive than the green or the blue rayon? Justify your answer with a brief statement. I do see a footnote there, and that footnote is footnote 8. Let me just look what it says. It says, 1 yard is equivalent to 36 inches. That's nice to know. All right, let's go to the whiteboard. And as I do this over here, all I can say is that I got, I read that. This is problem number 2. I'm going to start writing things down that are important for me. And I'm going to say that I'm going to let the letter G equal, I'm going to let it equal the price per yard of the green rayon. I was going to put down green. And why do I do that? So if I look at that, it kind of reminds me of green. And I'm going to say B equals the price per yard of the blue cloth or blue rayon. And there's pink rayon too, right? And that's going to be the price per yard of the pink rayon. And these are all rayon. It's a cloth. It's a material. It's synthetic. All right, so what I'm going to do is also kind of specify that, G and B and P are greater than 0, right? That none of the prices are negative or 0, all right? So what I want to do is go back and read it to you and see what they said, all right? So a clerk in a local store sold 4 yards of green rayon. So I'm going to say 4G. And I'm going to look up 6 yards of blue rayon, 6 yards of blue rayon, and 2 yards of pink. And I went on to say the total was $20. All right, so that's a given. So the first thing I write down is 4G plus 6B plus 2P is 20. I want to read the next sentence. And again, I'm actually looking at the paper. It says, an additional sale was made of the same rayons for a total of $6. So I'm going to say it's $6. Okay, let's keep looking at it. Comprising of 24 inches of green. Now, 24 inches, right? It's a little complicated, right? So I'm going to say, in terms of yards, there's 36 inches in every yard. So inches cancel off. I'm going to divide by 12, so you get 2/3 of a yard. All right, I'm going to go back and read that to you. So it says an additional sale was made of the same rayons for a total of $6. I have that written down. 24 inches of green, so that's 2/3 of a yard. All right, I'm going to keep reading it. 1 yard each of the blue and pink. So I'll put down 1B and 1P. All right? By the way, I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So you get 2G plus 3B plus 3P. I'm multiplying both sides by 3 is 18. I could get my eraser out and erase this over here. Again, I like the whole numbers. That's why I did that. I'm also going to erase this up here. All right, so I got another statement here. It's 2G Let me see if I read that right. Additional sale was made at the same rayons for total $6, 24 inches of green rayon, and 1 yard each of the blue and pink rayon. Let me see if I read that. 2G, I think so. Additional sale was made. Yeah, I did okay. But when I'm looking at the first equation, I notice I can divide that by 2. I'm going to do that too, because I want to make these things a little bit simpler numerically anyway. So it's 2G plus 3B, I'm dividing by 2, by the way, plus P is equal to 10. And I'd like to make things a little bit simpler. I'll erase this now. Again, I'm not even at the question, I'm just at the reading stage of it. All right, so let me keep reading it. And it goes on to say, what is the price for 27 inches of pink rayon? All right, so I got to figure that one, the pink one. And what I noticed about this guy over here is that it really doesn't look that bad. And the reason for that, I'm noticing that, the equations look the same except for P. So what I'm going to subtract these two, and I'll do it. I'll take this one and subtract this one. And let's write that down. So 2G minus 2G is 0. 3B minus 3B is 0. 3P minus P is 2P. And 18 minus 10 is going to be 8. So P is going to be 4. All right, now so what does that mean? It means that, well, I got to go back and read that, right? So P is the price per yard, right? So this is, the pink stuff is $4 per yard. All right? So what am I going to do now? I'm going to try to answer the question. And the question is this. What is the price for 27 inches? So I'll write this over here. 27 inches. I need to convert that to yards. And there's 36 inches. And let's do that. Looks like, I can divide through by 9, right? So it's going to be, and by the way, the inches cancel off. So 9 goes into 27, 3. And 9 goes into 36 4 times. That's yards. All right? So let's write this down. So it's $4 per yard times 3/4. And that's going to give you 3. 3 what? $3. All right? So that's going to cost $3. All right? So we have $3 for that. All right? Now I guess I could write some things down now. All right? Now I wonder what to write down. There's another question though. So I want to point out, let me just see what the other question is. I got to look back on the piece of paper. Is the pink rayon more expensive than the green or the blue rayon? Justify your answer. Wow. Let's take a look at that. So let's put this down now. All right, so 2G plus 3B equals, well, if I know P is 3, P is 4, this would be 6. I did that right there. All right, again, I know P is 4, it's right over here. And you would get 2G plus 3B. I'm just checking this out, by the way. Let's see, 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 from 18 is 6. Well, that's nice to know, all right? So let's just think about this now. So we know the pink rayon costs $4 per yard. We know that much, right? And using what we know about P, we know this. We know that 2G plus 3B is equal to 6. We know that. Since we're dealing with money, right? We know that the B, looking at this equation over here, and again, we know they're positive numbers, by the way, it has to be between 0 and 2. And we know the G, looking at this over here, I'm just giving a bound to it. The G would have to be between 0 and what? 3. So let's go back to the question. And again, I'm wondering really what the question is. I look at it. It's over here. It says, is the pink rayon more expensive than the green or blue rayon? Well, it's 4, so it's certainly going to be more expensive. it's more expensive. And again, we gave our justification over here. Thank you.